In this video, we are going to speak about control structure and specifically for loop. Okay, so repeated execution of some group of code in a program is called an iteration. This is also known as the loop. Okay, and each repetition of this action is called the pass. That is, if there is 10 iteration, then there will be first pass, second pass, likewise 10 passes. Okay. And loops are of different types. Basically, there are two types. The first one is definite iteration and the second one is indefinite iteration. Indefinite iteration, you predefine that this many times the iteration should happen. Okay, I'll say like 10 times, for example. In indefinite iteration, the program is the one who determines how many times the iteration should happen. Okay, so this happens in a very complex environments like in convolution neural networks or different algorithms in machine learning. So there the program decide when to stop the loop. Now moving on to for loop. Okay, so for loop, it is written like this in Python: for I in range of, for example, I have given 4 and I am saying print I. There is a colon here. Okay, so this is called the loop header and this is the loop body. Okay, so here what I am saying, for I, this is very similar to when you are writing for I is equal to 0, I less than 4, I plus plus. Okay, so this statement is written like this in Python. Okay, for I in range of 4, print I. Okay, so what will be the output? The output will be 0, 1, 2 and 3. So this will be output for this particular code. So there is an indentation here. This is very important. So the body of the loop should be indented. Okay, for I in range of 4, print I, and the output will be this. Okay, or you can write the same thing like this: n is equal to 4, for I in range of 0 to n, print I. Okay, so you will get this output. Okay, so what actually happens is that this 0 is given to I first and then it is printed, then I is incremented, then 1 is given to I and then it is printed. This is how it works. Okay, this is the syntax for iteration variable. Iteration variable here is I. Okay, in sequence, sequence means here range of 4 or range of 0 to n, etc. Then you have the statements, that is the loop body. Okay, now we will see another example. For each pass in range of 4, print it's alive and end is equal to a space. Okay, what does that mean? After the string there is a space that should be printed. It should not go to the next line, there should be a space. Okay, so here our variable is each pass. Okay, so what is the first value of each pass? It is 0. Okay, equal to 0, and then it will print it's alive with a space in the end. Okay, then what happens? This becomes 1, incremented, and then it will print it's alive with a space. Then it will become 2 and 3, and so this is printed, okay, with a space. So you can see this is not going to the next line. So this is how this example works. Now this program is to print 2 raised to 3. So what is basically 2 raised to 3? It is 2 into 2 into 2, right? So you have to loop this multiplication. So how we are going to do it? So we are going to initialize number as 2, exponent as 3 and product as 1. Okay, and we are starting the loop. For each pass in range of exponent, why exponent? That is the number of times you want to iterate the loop, right? if it is 3 here, there is 3 times you have to iterate the loop. So we are giving exponent here. Then product is equal to product into number. So initially the value of product is what? It is 1, right? So now I am going to do product equals 1 into number. What is the value of number? 2. So I am doing that. Okay. Initially the value of each pass is 0. Okay. For the for the value 0, this is done, and now the value of product is 2. Okay. Then what happens? This becomes 1, right? It will get incremented. So now my each pass is 1, and my product, what happens? 2 into again the number, right? So 2 into 2. Now the value of product is 4. Okay, that is printed. Then what happens? Each pass increments, and this becomes 2. Product is now 4, that into number. So that becomes 8, and that is printed. Okay. Now what happens? Each pass becomes 3, and the loop breaks here. Okay. Now let's say what is a count controlled loop. The loop that counts through the range of numbers is called the count controlled loop. This is used in different applications. For example, we have to find the factorial of 4. So what is factorial of 4? 1 into 2 into 3 into 4. So that is 24 is the factorial of 4. So how will you write a program to find the factorial of a number? So initially you have to make product equal to 1. Then for count in range of 4. Okay. So now initially the value of count is 0. Okay. And what I have written? Product equal to product into count plus 1. So now product is equal to initial value of product is 1. 1 into count plus 1. So 0 plus 1. 1. Okay. So now the value of product is 1. Then count is incremented. It becomes 1 here. Then product is equal to the value of product now is 1 into count plus 1. Count is 1, so 1 plus 1, 2. So 1 into 2. Now the value of product is 2. Okay. Now this increments to count increments to 2. Then what I have to do? Product equal to product into count plus 1, so 3. Okay. So product becomes 6. This increments to 3. Then again product equal to product into count plus 1. Product into count plus 1, 3 plus 1, that is 4. So I will get 24. Now this increments to 4 and the loop breaks. So you can see that here this line is the only line in the body of the loop. Why? Because this print statement is not having that indentation. I said for the body of the loop it should have the indentation. So after all this computation it will print what? Product. What is the value of product? It is 24. So it will print 24. So in all the earlier cases we saw that the loop has started from 0. Okay, and 0 to n minus 1. That is how much times the loop will work. So what if you have to explicitly give this lower bound? So I have to start the loop from 1 to 5. When I say 1 to 5, it will go from 1, 2, 3 and 4. When it becomes 5, the loop will break. Okay. So if I have to start it from 1, then I have to explicitly say that like this, range 1 to 5. If I give like that, then it will start from counting from 1. Rather than giving numbers, I can also give variables. For example, here lower and upper are two variables that is given by the user. And I am writing lower comma upper plus 1. Why am I giving upper plus 1? because upper is a variable and it should be incremented, right? So I'll give lower comma upper plus 1, and you'll see these two programs are very slightly different in their indentation. You see that this print is now inside the body of this for loop, and this print is outside the body of the for loop. How do you say that? Because this print doesn't have an indentation, but here the print is indented, the same indentation as sum. Okay, so what happens? So here this print is considered inside the for loop, so it will print all the values, while here it is outside the for loop, so after computing the for loop it will print this value. Okay, so that is the difference between these two programs. The loop error or off by 1 error, which means that if you are saying 1 to 4, the loop will go from 1 to 3. Okay, that is n minus 1. Only up to n minus 1 the loop will go. The limit will be discarded. When it becomes 4, the loop will break. That is called loop error or off by 1 error. Okay.